The family Thanksgiving, I mean, you're the son and brother of two of the most famous governors in the last 50 years.
This does not go over well.
It doesn't, okay.
Because I have real Democrats and real Republicans in my family. And what I say to them is, what is your party even about? What are you except they suck? What are you? What are Republicans now? Because I remember back in the day, I married into a real Republican family. They are real people of character, of fiscal austerity. They have a different position than the current orthodoxy about what policy should be abroad. Character counts. You know, they were real conservatives, okay? That's not what that party is anymore. Democrats, my father's Democratic Party, he was all about workers. He was about the underclass. But he was about government does everything you need it to do and nothing more. You help the people who can't help themselves. And it was supposed to try to find ways for people to cooperate. I remember sitting in the executive mansion in Albany, and he had the head of the Senate, Italian guy, Ralph Marino. They were absolutely at each other's throats, okay? Budgets and stuff like that, right? Pop was the governor, this guy was the head of the Republican Party, basically. He brings Ralph Marino over, they sit on the couch, opens a bottle of wine, or I think I actually opened the bottle of the wine, and they started talking, and my father was like, you know, Ralph, you know, I don't want to hear this and this about me. Ralph's like, fine, you're right, that went too far. But what you're trying to do this just is not right. And you're trying to force it on us, and you're trying to hold this thing. And they had this whole conversation. A Republican and a Democrat. This guy was the leader on the Senate, you know, state side, okay? He had no business by today's rules being in that house, let alone making a deal. Not a bad deal, not subterfuge, but I get it. We disagree, but we got too hot. And that's a mistake. Now, how do we make this budget? That's what it was about. And by the way, that was tortured enough. What we are now is, you're a traitor if you're in that room.
Of course.
And I know two things. The two-party system has failed us, and we have to have more voices and more conversation, not less. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.